Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. And this should come as no surprise that cannabis is the fastest growing sector in the U.S. job market. It's not tech, it's pot. The cannabis industry added almost 65,000 jobs in 2018, an increase of 44% from the year before, according to a new report from the cannabis website Leafly and Whitney Economics. There are now more than 296,000 jobs when you include suppliers and indirect contractors, surpassing that of coal mining, textile manufacturing, and brewery workers. In 2018, legal cannabis sales grew 34% to $10.8 billion in the U.S., according to the report. California has the fifth largest GDP in the entire world. There's only 4 other countries, including the U.S., that have a higher gross domestic product than California alone. So California is leading the jobs creation market amongst states that have legalized cannabis by allowing dispensaries to sell recreational cannabis. The legal market has not only erased the influence of the black market, but legal jobs continue to open up. So the Leafly report projected that California will add over 10,000 jobs this year alone. It's been 5 years since Colorado and Washington opened their first adult use retail stores, and we're just now seeing a slowing in the rate of cannabis growth in those 2 states, the report says. Interesting, because I would absolutely agree that we've been really slow to grow. There's been a lot of turnover, especially in the bud tender group. I think that's due to a lack of training and resources, and just maybe finding a better job somewhere else, either closer to home, more convenient, higher sales. But overall, the industry hasn't really been growing in terms of jobs until as of recent. If cannabis job gains follow on a conservative 20% in 2019, that will represent 110% gain in full-time jobs in 3 years. Director of extraction that supposedly makes $191,000 compared to director of cultivation at $250,000, and an outside sales rep makes $150,000. Hopefully this isn't a bad omen to a cannabis bubble, but the article is titled "Forget Bitcoin, Cannabis is the Next Place to Go." Cannabis stocks are the next huge growth area and won't be like Bitcoin, says one wealth advisor. Quote, "If you want to be in something that's very growthy and actually legitimate as it is legalized and controlled properly, I think this is the place to go," said Carol Pepper at Pepper International, talking to CNBC's Squawk Box Europe on Friday. The New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ both listed cannabis companies in 2018 when Canopy Growth and Cronos Capital went public on the indices. Both firms are based in Canada, where recreational cannabis is now legal. Canopy Growth stock has risen more than 65% year to date, while over the same period, Cronos has risen more than 115%. Pepper said legalization in Canada had blown through expectations, and the success had reached the point where firms based there were now exporting to Europe. The wealth manager also rejected a suggestion that cannabis stocks would mirror the Bitcoin frenzy, which saw asset prices spike to the highs of over 19,000 and crash to trades around 3,900 currently, stating that cannabis is a physical product with defined benefits. She said, quote, "I think it's a phenomenal plant that's going to do a lot of good for the planet. I'm glad it's finally being legalized." Pepper predicted that big U.S. tobacco and drink companies would take control of the industry once more legal prohibition is removed around the world. And with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge, your cannabis business podcast. Like, subscribe, and share, or don't. And I'm out.
Luxury beat.